Ooh, welcome to Ole Walls House. It's me. It's your man. It's your main man. It's Ole Walls, and I'm back for episode 169. Nice. Episode 169 coming your way. I'll be going solo this week, breaking down the NCAA Tournament. Baseball's back, baby. The guards are out there. Touch on a little hockey. We got my passing thoughts. So your boy here will be taking you through it. Before we get to that, I just want to say thank you to everybody. Appreciate the support. Appreciate the watches, all the listens. So thank you. I do. I really appreciate you guys tuning in and checking it out. So thanks a bunch. Hope you're still enjoying it because I still am. So also, don't forget MJ's podcast, the Full Range Podcast. You can find that on the Ole Walls House YouTube channel. And if you search Spotify, the Full Range Podcast. So without any further ado, let's get into it. NCAA Tournament. Gentlemen, I don't know our exact tally. I just tried to go back through the tweets and see what it was. I posted on Sunday that we were 31-30-1 overall. But then if you look back to Friday night, it said we were 31-32-1. We picked up 2 wins on Sunday with Houston and Auburn. So we could be 33-30-1, which would be 64 games, which is where we should be because there's 67 games because you have to have one less game than teams you had at the start. By other numbers, we are 33-32-1, which is 66 games, which is one too many. I think I found one too many. So we're either one. So, best case scenario, we're 33-30-1. Worst case scenario, we're 33-32. I think I think we're 32. That's what I say, 33-30-1. That adds up to 64. We're going to go with that. We're 3 games above the number. We're 3 games above 500. We're counting that. So it's been a battle. It's been a battle out here. We've been going up. We've been going down. 2 and 5 weeks. 2 and a lot of 500s. Thursday we went 2-2. Lose Maryland. Lose Duke. Duke actually looks human for once. We pick up 2-2. The following day we Kentucky, Purdue, Michigan, and Ole Miss. Ole Miss gets us a dirty backdoor cover. Purdue keeps it close with Houston. That was a great game. Michigan gets the doors blown off them. The best Auburn's looked all week, or all tournament, was this weekend. The Michigan State score got a little closer in the end, but I thought Auburn looked pretty good in that one as well. What other one? Kentucky. Oh yeah, Kentucky got their ass kicked. Where are we at here? Tennessee just took it to Kentucky and then laid an egg against Houston. I think Houston held them to 18 points, or what they scored 19 points in the first half. Where's the breakout? Does this thing have? No, I'm on the NCAA tournament thing. I can probably find it on the score app. Yeah, Houston just demolishes Tennessee in the Elite Eight. Where are we at? NCAA basketball. No, I want the previous round. It was 15. It was worse. It was 34-15 at halftime. They played them even in the second half. So, oofta. That Alabama performance against BYU, that may have been the most fun game of the tournament, was Alabama BYU. And then they had Duke and Arizona in the same location. What a freaking Thursday night that must have been. That was Thursday, right? Yeah, that was Thursday. That Duke Arizona game was fun. Caleb loves playing Duke. What he finished with? 40 minutes, 35 points on 11 of 21 from the field, 5 of 11. The story there is Cooper Flagg is the best player in college basketball. No doubt. 30 points, 9 of 19, 3 of 5 from 3, 6 boards, 7 assists, 9 of 10 from the foul line, a steal, 3 blocks. The guy does it all. And I said this because I have to relate back to things I can understand. Outside of, the Arizona game, and and they looked great, and they expanded that lead at points, and Arizona battled back. And even that doesn't take away from it. But the other 3 games of Duke this tournament has reminded me of the 2009 UNC team, who I don't think had a single-digit game in the NCAA tournament that year. They were just clicking, just on all cylinders. I'm pulling it up right now. The NCAA tournament. Yeah, they beat Radford in the first round, 101-58. Beat LSU in the second round, 84-70. Gonzaga in the Sweet 16, 98-77. Beat Oklahoma by 12, Villanova by 14, and then Michigan State by 17. Double digits the whole way through. And it's what Duke is doing is really reminiscent of that for me. And I'm hard-pressed to see a way anybody beats Duke. I just don't see it. Hey, maybe Houston can, put the clamps on them. It's kind of going to be a fun kind of juxtaposition. I mean, Duke has scored 93, 89, 185. Houston has allowed 40, 76. There's their outlier with Gonzaga, 60 and 50. And again, that was 15 first half points they allowed. So that's an interesting matchup. That's a really interesting matchup. Slano has been saying Auburn's a team that has not shown that they can care for 40 minutes, let alone cannot show that they care for 20 consecutive minutes, let alone 40. I think we saw a little bit more of that against Michigan and Michigan State. So we'll see where that falls. That Auburn Florida one should be fun. Some big dudes, teams go fast. I didn't even mention yet, all number 1 seeds in the Final Four. First time since 2008 that's happened. My Heels were also there. There were no mid-majors in the Sweet 16. Obviously, there's a lot of people, portal, NIL, and I tend to believe that too. I tend to think that's exactly what's going on here, is that the portal and NIL is funneling the better players to the better teams. And I saw a clip, and I didn't see the whole podcast, of Brandon Walker on Mostly Sports with Mark Titus. And people were complaining about Cinderella. Oh, there's no Cinderella. And he's like, but there is Cinderella. It's just not teams. It's individuals. It's guys who come over from these smaller, these smaller teams and then go to the power teams. I mean, because if you look, I don't even know what some of these things are. I mean, this is the light's messing with it. So that's the starting lineups for all the Sweet 16 teams and the schools they started at. Probably could have just pulled this up on my computer, but I had it right on my phone. As you can see, they're from all over. Duke, Michigan State stand out, and Purdue stand out. I almost want to say the 2 Tennessees is not even Tennessee. But as you can see on there, there's some smaller schools. There's Kennesaw State, some schools I don't know. That's Tulane, New Mexico, FAU, Belmont, Iona, another Belmont. Imagine those couple guys were still on Belmont. You might be seeing Belmont make a little run of this. So North Texas, there are some small schools on there that have fun. Oh, Drexler. And again, there's 1, 2, North Dakota State. Try to see how many insignias I don't know. There's a Camel. One of these is a Camel. So, there's plenty of, players that have come from smaller schools. So I will say this. It is the perfect storyline. Hey, NIL, transfer portal, big schools getting all the top talent to transfer to them after they kind of make their presence. I think I agree. I do think I agree. 1 year does not mean that is 100% the case. If next year we get something really similar, we get 15 major teams and only 1 mid-major, or even if it's 14-2, and then we get, a bunch of 1s and 2s in the Final Four, then you got me. Then there's the trend. There was 4 number 1 seeds in the Final Four, and granted, that was 17 years ago now. That hurts me to say. 2008, I was in high school. But if it happens multiple times, then I'm good with saying that's the trend now. But I do think we need to I do think we need to pump the brakes just a minute. And I don't know that we're wrong. I just think you have to let more play out. Moving forward, I like Duke. I like Duke to win it all. And, obviously, I'm not saying that as a homer by any stretch of the imagination. They're given 5.5 against Houston. I'm just going to ride Duke, man. I'm going to ride Duke I'm going to ride her till she bucks you. You ride her till she bucks you, you don't ride at all. I think we've been on Duke the whole time. No, we might have been on Alabama. No, we were on Duke. So run with them. They're the dogs. They got the best player. They got some other good players on the team to go with them. Like, it's not a one-man show. I'm going with them. I'm an offense guy, so give me the offense over the defense. I'm laying the 5.5. I've reached out to the cohorts. Slano in place. 30 minutes ago, I asked. They did not send their picks, so hopefully by the time I'm done recording, these will get in there. And then I'll take Auburn in the other one. Give me the points in that one. I think that can be close. I'm not super up on either of the teams. Obviously, I've watched them. I think Auburn's best is better than Florida's best. I don't know. Now I'm waffling. I'm waffling already. Maybe give me Florida. I'm going to take Florida. I'm flipping already. Florida Duke national championship game. I think that'd be a rematch. The 01 was the 01 national championship. Was that Florida Duke? That was Arizona Duke. Didn't Florida play in one of those national championships around that area? Yep, they played the year before against Michigan State, the Florida Gators. That was their first national title game at the time. Obviously went on to win a couple others. North Carolina made the Final Four that year. Huh. Oh, they made it as like an 8 seed. Yeah, they made it as like an 8 seed. Yep, they beat Stanford. They beat Missouri, Stanford, Tennessee, Tulsa. A 7-8 matchup in one Elite 8. And then they got beat by Florida. Who was on that North Carolina team? Where are they at? I think that was Brendan Haywood, Joe Forte. Was Ronald Curry on that team? Oh, Ed Cota was still on the team. Michael Brooker, Ronald Curry. There he was, sophomore. Jason Capel, Chris Lang. Boomer brought his greenie down here. Julius Peppers was still playing basketball at that time. Will Johnson, Brian Bursticker. I remember Max Owens. He was a guard. Yep, 6'5". I mean, that was Ed Cota, Brennan Haywood, Jason Capel, Ronald Curry, Joseph Forte, Chris Lang, and Julius Peppers were the dudes who played. Okay, sorry, got off on a tangent there. Yeah, give me Florida. I'll take Florida and Duke to meet in the national championship next week. Okay, let's move on. Let them cook. Minwoo Lee, the chef, is your winner at the Texans Children's Houston Open. 66, 64, 63, 67 on Sunday to close out a one-stroke win over Gary Woodland and Scotty Scheffler. As I was just reviewing this leaderboard, excuse me, I just said to myself, man, the cream really rises to the top. The cream really rises to the top. The cream really rose to the top here. I mean, you got Minwoo, Gary Woodland, Scotty Scheffler go 1, 2, 3. Wyndham Clark T5, Rory T5, Taylor Pendrith, a better player as well, than a lot of these other, especially when you get into Ryan Gerards, Lee Hodges, Rico Hoey, Steven Yeager, Joel Damon types. Some of the other better players that weren't kind of right up at the top of the leaderboard. Tony Finau was down here at T32. Jake Knapp, again, just solid. 1 over on his final day. Keith Mitchell was involved in this and shot 1 over on the final day too. That's got to be FedEx. Yeah, FedEx. I'm going to say he didn't move up 11 spots shooting 1 over. But yeah, I mean, it's these off tournaments. You sneak a couple of guys in here, but Minwoo comes out on top, holds off Scotty Scheffler, holds off Gary Woodland. You just got to feel good for Gary Woodland to see him get a thing like this going. 69, 64, 66, 62. 62 on Sunday. Absolutely stoned one on the 18th. I was out and about for a lot of the day, caught the tail end of this, but what a close by Gary Woodland. After he makes bogey at 13, comes back, birdie on 15. I don't think many people were birdieing that hole. Eagle 16, and again, stones one on 18. I believe he hit it to 2 feet. 2 feet, 2 inches was the final from 2 bills out over on the right side of the hole. Probably had to navigate a tree or two. I saw it after it happened. I walked up and all of a sudden the ball's right there and they show Gary Woodland looking up. Dude had brain surgery. I talked about it. The episode about him on what's the Netflix show called? No. Oh my God. I've completely blanked. Netflix golf show. Full swing. There we go. Really a tearjerker of an episode about him. So happy for him. Good for him. Scotty Scheffler right there. 1 stroke out. Actually putted better this week, except for round 3. This is the PGA Tour strokes gain, and I think they're a little off. Let me see if I can pull the data golf for the Texan Children's Houston Open. Let me see if I can get the data golf live tournament stats. All right, there we go. Scotty Scheffler event. Strokes gained putting. Oh, shit. Now what have I done? 1.77 to the good. 1.77. Gary Woodland actually topped that. Minwoo second. Where's 1.7? Sixth? So not bad. Strokes gained around the green. I mean, why are you putting the guys who are cut on here? Strokes gained approach. Where's Scott on here? Of those who finished 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11th. So let me not crazy as far as he's concerned. How do all these guys strokes gain? Get rid of the people who are cut. Tee to green, nothing crazy. Like, that's my point. Like, he actually didn't have his best stuff all in all. And the putter really put him over the edge, because around the green, 0.02 approach, 1.09 solid. Off the tee, 0.54, so really nothing great there. And then tee to green, 1.66. You know, Sammy Valimaki, Alejandro Tosti, Rory bettered him, but you know, the putter came through. It was just round 3 killed him with the putter. He lost 0.86 shots with the putter. Lost another 1.01 around the green. So 2 shots on Sunday. There it is. He's your winner. But Minwoo, the chef, we're letting him cook. Got a little hairy for him there. I think he was up, if my notes are correct, he had about a 4-shot lead standing on the 13 tee. Made birdie. Maybe it was 4 shots after 13. Got a little hairy on 16. He pumped one into the water off the tee box, I believe. Yeah. Yep, and then made birdie on a second ball to save bogey. Meanwhile, Scotty Scheffler had an eagle putt on that hole. Let's see how far that eagle putt was from. He didn't make it. He only made 23 feet. I mean, it's not one you think to make, but I mean, it was a look. And oh man, could you imagine? Minwoo's back there. He has to see that go in right after he just pumped one into the fucking water. You got to make birdie just to make a bogey. Ooh. Nobody likes that. But good win for Minwoo. Decent enough field. Held off a couple guys. Like I said, Rory's right there. There's some shit with Alejandro Tosti going on. Pace of play stuff. Bones was calling it out. Tosti shooting back. He's like, I was only walking 50 yards behind because I went to the bathroom and made a drink. Maybe you made a drink. Are you mixing up a transfusion out there? I would need to. But yeah, so, you know, all eyes lead to Augusta. We're still, we're still a week out of that. We have Valero this week. I would imagine Valero is getting a pretty crummy field. Let me see if I can pull that up. See who we got in the field there. See if that's populated yet. Oh, I have to log in yet again. But you hate it when you got an account, like a website you go to, and you just log in constantly. It's like I click, please keep me logged in at all times. I click it every time. Never does. All right, let's see what we got for Valero this week. Ludwig in the field. Hideki, Tommy Fleetwood, Keegan, Patrick Cantlett. This field's better than I thought. Corey Connors, Akshay, Tom Kim, Tony Finau. Starts to go downhill pretty quick after not that bad. Sam Burns, Danny McCarthy, Justin Rose, Daniel Berger, JT Poston, Brian Harmon, Michael Kim, Ben Griffin, Tom Hoagie, Cam Young, Spieth, Fitzpatrick, Chris Kirk, Homa, Jake Knapp, Slano's boy, Thorbjorn Olesen. So, that's terrible. Give us something to do on Sunday when that's all we got. Final Four Saturday, nothing Sunday, no basketball. So it's strictly golf season pretty much from here on out on Sundays, ladies and gents. But Masters in a couple weeks. It's really hard for me not to just lock in my Scotty Scheffler pick and the one and done. Just trending a little bit, just kind of maybe makes a little tweak to the ball striking, and he's right back on track. Gets the putter figured out a little bit. This place is supposed to be, the grasses are supposed to be like Augusta. So, man, I know he just won last year and what it was 2 years before that. It's really hard for me not to right now lock in Scotty Scheffler, Jon Rahm. Got to use your live guys in majors. So I need Rahm in a major, I need Bryson in a major, and I need Brooks in a major. So it might be Brooks and Bryson. Where's the PGA at this year? Quail Hollow? Oh, I'm locking Bryson into that. Is it Quail Hollow? Am I right? Yeah, Quail Hollow. Give me Bryson there. The U.S. Open's at Oakmont. I'd like to see what I get out of Brooks before I lock him into the U.S. Open at Oakmont. Then I don't know. Cam Smith maybe late for the British. Those guys really, it's fucking annoying because you only get 4 cracks to see what they're about. But yeah, Scotty Scheffler. It's hard for me not to just lock Scotty Scheffler in right now for Augusta. I think in my mind I've got Scotty and Rahm, and there's very little that's going to push me off of that. I'm very excited for the Masters. I'm very, very excited. I heard some weather reports going to be warm this week in through the end of the week. And then it'll cool down a little bit for the tournament week. I don't know what that means. I would like to see it get warm and windy and dry and make that place crusty like it was Saturday of last year. That was a lot of fun. Maybe we'll see it. Okay, let's keep this thing moving. Baseball's back. The Guards are back. They got a winning record. They sit atop the AL Central alone. Hopefully we're just saying that all year long. The Royals are 2-2. The White Sox are 2-2, far outpacing their expected wins at this point of the year. Tigers and Twins, 0-3 and 0-4. A couple of playoff teams there last year. Just off to a rough start. Obviously, we have a long way to go. It's not even April yet. As I record this, it is still March. This will launch tomorrow on April Fools. But it's not even March. We're 3 games in. And so far, there have been some signs of good things. The biggest highlight thus far, Kyle Manzardo. 2 home runs, 6 RBIs driven in. He's tied for the top of the AL in RBIs. Did I say RBIs driven in? Yeah, of course it's RB. Runs batted in. But he's right at the top. Just, there's a pile of people at 6, and there's Aaron Judge with his, cheaty new bat up at number 1 with 11. Interesting what those Yankees are doing. Reshaping the bats. Questionable. So yeah, that's nice. They've scored some runs in every game so far. 7 runs Thursday, 3 in a loss on Saturday, and then, six of them on Sunday against the Royals. The thing I didn't love thus far, 2 blown leads by the bullpen in the first 2 games. Class A blew a save. Class A almost took someone's head off too in his next event and his Sunday appearance. But 2 blown leads by the bullpen. This is a bullpen we're turning to, obviously to get a lot out of again. I mean, if you look at who pitched on Thursday, I mean, it's exactly who you've heard all last season and all playoffs. Ben Lively gives him 5, gives up 3. Not too bad. In comes Cade Smith, Tim Herron, Hunter Gaddis, Emmanuel Clase. Paul Sewald was in there too. Then if you look at Saturday, because they didn't play Friday, Gavin Williams gives you 5, only gives up 2. Gavin Williams, a nice first start. Been hearing good things about Gavin Williams. Gavin Williams needs to return to the pitcher from 2 years ago, not last year when he was battling some injury stuff and couldn't get it right. Same stuff, though. Cade Smith for an inning. Paul Sewald, he gives up a couple earned runs. Then Hunter Gaddis comes in. Jacob Junis is a new name for him. He came in. But still, that's more of the same. Bybee, after getting the scratch on day 1, he comes in Sunday. He pitches a nice one, 5 2/3, gets into the 6th. Tim Herron, Joey Cantillo, which is, again, another name. He came up from the minors. Hunter Gaddis, Emmanuel Clase. Like, we're going to those guys. Like, that's what's going to happen. They brought it home on Sunday. Thursday, Saturday, they did not. That's just a smidge worrisome. The other worrisome thing, on Saturday, Jose Ramirez, odd slide, lightly sprained wrist, I believe was the terminology I last saw. He was out Sunday. He could possibly play tonight. They play later. Let me see if they've got the lineups in here yet. Against the Padres. He's in the lineup, so they weren't able to keep him out long. Luis L. Ortiz is how he's being listed here. We'll take the bump versus the Padres. So some good signs. Stephen Kwan's hitting it well. He had a home run Saturday. Sunday we got three dingers: Gabriel Arias and Daniel Schneemann to go with Kyle Manzardo second. Manzardo's got to be a bat in the lineup. And speaking of which, he's not playing tonight. We need 2 guys to really show up this year, I think. I think we need Manzardo to take a huge step. I think we need Layden Thomas to continue to produce. And then for guys we need to make the next step, I think you got to see something out of Joan Kenzie Noel, big Christmas. And Arias has got to be something of a bat, especially at the back of that lineup. I mean, you look at tonight, he's in at the back of the lineup with Rodriguez, Arias, Hedges, who's just an out, and Rocchio, who's been hot and cold. Arias, I think, has got to do a little something. Obviously, Fry's still on the injured list. He's on the 60-day DL still with that elbow. Shane Bieber's on the 15-day DL right now, but they've really been playing that close to the vest on when he may come back. So we'll see what that is. The other guy I had liked a little bit, we've got him, Nolan Jones, a guy we had brought back after having out a little bit. I don't know. I liked what he did. What day was that? He had a couple of hits. It wasn't Thursday, obviously, so it must have been Saturday. He had a hit and scored a run. Maybe that was it. Maybe I've really overestimated my guy Nolan Jones. 2 walks on Sunday. Maybe I just like that one hit. Good looking swing. Good slash at it. Good slash at it, you might say. So yeah. So early. Who knows? Talking to Ethan E. Sorry, my trash can fell over. Ethan E. Sexton just couldn't make the schedule work. I was pretty busy this weekend. He was busy today, so we're going to try and do something next week or this weekend for next week. So hopefully we'll have Eon to give us the the full actually intelligent breakdown. I'm just sitting here like, oh yeah, I like Nolan Jones. I liked him. He had one fucking hit. I like the way he slashes at it. What do I know? I'm saying Gabriel Arias needs to be better. What does that even mean? Bo Naylor needs to take a step too. And we got to just milk every last ounce of something out of Carlos Santana. Just every ounce of it. Obviously, the Quanster and Jose. Jose has to keep producing. So there you go. I've just said everybody on the team needs to keep doing what they're doing or get a little bit better for us to, be better. Standard stuff there. Nothing. I mean, that's just fucking, that's insightful. I'm a genius. What do we got this week? We got 3 with the pods, a couple late nights, 8:40, 3:10 on Wednesday. Well, afternoon ball out on the West Coast. Stay out on the West Coast and 8:38. That's 2 the start times. Friday and Saturday. I might catch some of Saturday's game. Second TV viewing as the NCAA tournament's going on. Before finally opening up back at home against the White Sox. What's awesome about early season baseball? They play it earlier in the day for like Cleveland because you don't want to play games in the middle of the fucking night when it's April and March and May in places like Cleveland. So the start times aren't absurd, except when you go to the West Coast. But anyway, any hoozle. Yeah, I think that's about all I got with baseball. I'm just going to roll the Flyers in right here real quick. Fire John Tortorella. He's out of there. Did that happen last week? Did I talk about it last week? I don't know. You can't say what he said. He's like, I don't want to be part of this. It might have talked about this last week. Whatever. Flyers win 2 in a row. Score 6 and 7 goals. Big Meech having a little bit of a go at it. 3 points in the 6-4 victory over the Canadiens. And then against the Sabres, couple more points, 2 goals. Big Meech. Maybe Big Meech needed Torts out of there. I mean, Torts was benching at the start of the year. What are you benching Big Meech for? What do they got left? 7 games. 7 games. If they win every single game, they're still not in it. Where are they at? They're dead last in the Metropolitan Division. No, Metropolitan, yeah. What was I calling it the one time? Metropolitan? I don't know. Well, they're at 69 points. They tack 14 on. They could fly up to be up maybe behind the Rangers. Who knows? They'll go like 2-4. That's not right. 2-5. 2-4-1. 2-4-1. That's my prediction. 2-4-1. Okay, let's keep moving. Time for some passing thoughts. Guys, I'm going to start this out. By defending a Democrat. Kind of. Not really, but kind of. I'll read to you from the article. I don't even know where this is from. Daily Beast. Here we go. MAGA erupted on... Oh, okay, it is right. MAGA erupted on Representative Jasmine Crockett Tuesday after a clip went viral of the Texas Democrat appearing to mock the disability of her state's Republican governor. Crockett, 43, referred to the wheelchair-bound Greg Abbott as Governor Hot Wheels on stage Saturday at a human rights campaign dinner in Los Angeles. Y'all know we got Governor Hot Wheels down there, Crockett said. And the only thing about him is that he's a hot-ass mess, honey. End quote. That's actually pretty funny. Governor Hot Wheels. Like, I have a sick sense of humor, so like I think it's funny. Like, you called him Governor Hot Wheels and he's in a wheelchair. That said, obviously she's going to get fucking blowback for that. I don't care. Like, whatever. But, you can just shut the fuck up about when the next Republican makes some jackass comment and then the next fucking Democrat makes some jackass comment. Like, I don't care. At least if you're going to do it, be funny. Like, that's kind of the appeal of Trump. He's like kind of funny when he insults people. So like, if you're going to make asinine comments, just be funny about it, and we're all good. I should have done this in the golf. I have like 3 pictures and notes that should have been paired with their correct segment, but that's why we have passing thoughts. It's a nice catch-all here. Kyle Porter tweeted this question this week. What is your favorite hole at Augusta National and why? I'm really thinking here. So it's not 1. I do like 2, the par 5. The par 3s out front just mesh to me. They're long as shit and hard as shit. 3's like 250, and then 5's like 220. Or is it 6? 5's the par 4 up the hill. 7's dumb hole. 8's not that. 8 doesn't do it for me. 9's kind of interesting out front. 10's good, obviously. 11? Oh man, does 11 have? See, this is the stretch of the golf course. 11 to 15, the winner's coming out of there, and it ain't 14. So it's 11, 12, 13, obviously. Amen corner of 15. So I'm really struggling on what I think there. Obviously, 11, the funnel coming out. You got the water left, but the problem is people just kind of bail. You just kind of bail. 12's a great hole. It's proof that with just a little bit of luck, because the wind swirls back there, a par 3 under $160, or I think it tops out at like 162, can be a great hole. I think at most spots it's like 155. You hit it over the center of the bunker. You don't risk it. Because if it fades and it goes, if you pull it, you get in there. 12's a contender. 13. Ooh. 13 could be one. Man, you got to cut the corner a little bit. It got to the point, though, where they're hitting 3-woods out there, and I think they're still kind of hitting 3-woods. Then you got the risk reward. There's really no bailout if you go for it. I think for me it's 15. They pushed it back maybe a smidge too far that when it plays into the wind, nobody goes for it. I like that hole when people are going for it a lot, because there's not really a bailout there. The layup's not great when you lay it up to the on the downslope. I think 15's the winner for me. 16's never really done it for me. I mean, it's a good hole, obviously, but some people love 16. I think 16's good. 14 and 17 just kind of get lost out there. You'll have the weirdos be like, oh, 14 and 17, those are great golf holes. A couple other Augusta stats here, quick, from Kyle Porter. In Gary Player's first Masters, he played against Jock Hutchinson, who was born in 1884. In Gary Player's last Masters, he played against Rory McIlroy, who was born 185 years later in 1989. Incredible. We got something similar here this year. If this does turn out to be Bernard Longer's last Masters, his first major, the 1976 British Open, Gene Sarazen was in the field, born in 1902. 1902 in his last major at a ripe old age of 54. And then this week, Tom Kim is in the field. Tom Kim was born in 2002. And even 100 years later. A couple baseball things. 2025 baseball season. I thought this was interesting. First season in MLB since 1964 where no one plays their regular home games in a fixed roof stadium. Tampa Bay Rays are not playing at their home stadium. They're playing down in Florida, I believe. So no fixed roof. We've got some retractable roofs now, but no fixed roof. So the stadiums will be open on every team's home game, at least somewhat this year. Pretty wild. I screenshot this. I don't think this is any shocking. Maturity is realized in the film Titanic. Rose decides to throw away a $250 million pennant in memory of an unemployed man she slept with exactly once, who never even owned that necklace. She completely disregards the fact that the explorer who brought her to the wreck had built his entire career on finding that necklace, that she held onto it for decades on the off chance she jumped at the right set, just to chuck it into the ocean for no good reason and croaks in his bed, then goes and waltzes past her husband in the afterlife to meet up with her 3-day fling. Meanwhile, she conveniently leaves out the part where she let Jack, the 3-day love of her life, freeze to death because she couldn't scoot over a bit on the giant door. Oh, maybe, just maybe, her husband of many years would have liked to know she'd been hanging on to a $250 million necklace all that time. How about her granddaughter, who was caring for her? An early retirement fund, anyone? The real villain of Titanic. Ready for it. Not Cal. Not even the iceberg. It was Rose. Well, yeah. I don't know why I screenshot it. Maybe I was thinking that, like, oh, yeah, This is obvious. Of course she's the villain. One other like sports related thing. Stanford is hiring former Indianapolis Colts and Carolina Panthers coach Frank Reich as its interim head coach for the 2025 season. Both sides agreed this will be only a 1-year agreement. Stanford will then launch a national search for a full-time head coach. Troy Taylor was fired last week after ESPN published reports from 2 workplace misconduct investigations into Taylor, commissioned in 23 and 24. Reich hasn't coached yet. Interesting that they're giving him the interim tag. I mean, I guess I'm just thinking about it from recruiting. Obviously, this comes up fast. And if he's not your guy, you're still in the same pickle with recruiting. Maybe now you can send out some assistants and be like, hey, I'm going to be here. Don't worry. There'll be some continuity, maybe whatever. You know what I'm getting at. But the interim thing, and just announce it. Like, why not just make him the head coach? And then if you want to move in a different direction, 1 year you move in a different direction. You know, I know Andrew Luck's kind of involved in the Stanford football program now, and he's got some ties to Frank Reich, but just the interim thing really, I don't know, really caught me by surprise. Watch Caddyshack. What was that, last week? At some point this week, roommate was on spring break, so she was actually down to watch a movie or two during the week. So watch Caddyshack. It's one of the most ridiculous movies I've ever seen. It's barely even like a movie. It's just like a bunch of scenes like thrown together. It's like Saturday Night Live was like, we're doing a golf themed episode this week. Because like Chevy Chase and Rodney Dangerfield, like they're just all kind of doing their own thing. Like the plots really are kind of just all over the place. Danny's is in love with this chick, and then all of a sudden he's hooking up with Smales' niece, and it's just all over. And then you got Bill Murray doing the Carl Spackler thing. And the one thing I caught from that, okay, still good, by the way. I'm not like saying it's not funny. I laugh through it still. Ty Webb, best part. Should have been way more focused on Ty Webb. I think they tried to do that with 2. I legitimately have not seen 2 in like 20 years. And I'm never going to search it out again. I just know it's that bad. Carl Spackler. He's doing the, it's a true Cinderella story. He's hitting a 4-iron from 400 yards. The one that he says, though, is an 8-iron from 195. Not crazy anymore. Not crazy at all. I don't know that I've ever hit 8-iron from 195. I've hit 7-iron from 195 plenty of times. Hang on. I just did what my carries were in the sim. I could tell you if I've hit one 185 or not. It says I'm carrying. I said my average carry on my 8-iron was 163. So 163, something's playing downhill 10. So now you're at 73. Get a little downwind. Now it's 83. Yeah, probably not an 8-iron for me. But I mean, I'm carrying my 7-iron 175. I mean, down 10, 5 miles an hour when there's 190. And I stink. I mean, you see pros do it all the time. All the time. So that was funny to me that we have just just straight on by it. Straight on by it. Speaking of golf and simulator, went to the golf simulator twice. Obviously, the weather out here hasn't quite broke yet. There's rumors that my course might be open this week. I think the boys were setting a tee time for this weekend. It's going to be like fucking 32 degrees in the morning. I don't know what the fuck I said yes for, but I did. I've got the itch. But I played twice on the simulator. The stack wedge, the wedge part of the stack app, so cool. Like gives you different things, getting points. Did it? Those guys at the stack did it again. Marty Jurchen just continuing to kill it. That was really fun. But so I played twice. First time, played like dog shit. Hit my driver, fucking terrible, which isn't necessarily new for me. The big takeaway, though, was felt good on the knee. Nothing from the knee. Like, the knee did not bother me doing it. So that was a huge takeaway. the speed was back up. Not quite to where I was pre-knee injury, because I was doing a lot of the stack training. I'd really brought my club head speed up. I was hitting the ball farther. Knee injury and just really kind of banged that. But it didn't fall off as much as it had. I had been with some buddies in the end of January, and I wasn't really swinging yet, and they were at the sim, and I just kind of hung out. Ooh, my hair looks good. And I went and hit a couple wedges, and I was like, oh my God, if I play golf by June, I'm going to be shocked. So, like, how far I'd come in just a couple of months, almost 2 months exactly. Like, oh gosh, it was such a weight off my shoulder. I was like, man, what am I going to do all summer if I just like can't hit a ball? Like, I can't swing at a ball. Like, what am I going to do? It was really, really worrisome for me. And I just don't know what I would have done. But luckily, I can just suck at golf hitting with the normal swing speed that I have. So, did play much better the second day. Figured a little something out with the driver, trying to tighten the swing up just a smidge, like incredibly long swing. Just got to tighten it up just a smidge. So yeah, I'll leave you on this. Laying in bed the other night, scrolling through, looking for something on TV. I see Any Given Sundays on. YouTube tells you about how far along you are in it. I click on it. It literally perfect timing. Cameron Diaz is walking down a hallway, and I'm like, I know exactly what comes next. I've seen the end of that cut into the next part 100 times. And there he is. Pacino in the locker room. Cue the music. The inches we need are everywhere around us. What a fucking speech. The inches speech. If I knew how to just insert the inches speech right now in this podcast, I would do it. And just that would lead us out. There'd be no one of my closing thoughts, nothing. That'd be it. All right, let's go close it up. Closing time, everybody. Just want to say thank you once again. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate the support. Appreciate producer Kevy for helping us get started with this whole thing. If you guys could, I forgot to say this at the top. Please rate, review, comment, share, and subscribe. Those go a long way to help us out. So please do that for us. Back next week. More baseball. Still a little bit more hockey. Final Four, golf. Maybe, hopefully, Ethan E. Sexton will be with us. Don't forget the Full Range Podcast. You can find that on Spotify, or you can find it on the Ole Walls House YouTube page. So until next week, peace.